Fucking is that true?
He's fucking
See, we don't know any of these rules.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. That's why
we have to look into
that. Boop,
yeah.
Boop, boop.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to. So you use the telephone. The telephone comes under the auspices of the FCC, even though the Internet doesn't. What you've got is a telephone call. The FCC regulates all telephone calls in the United States. The FCC requirement, and it is a law, and might even be a felony, although I'm not sure, is you cannot tape record a telephone conversation with another person unless that person knows that he or she is being recorded.
What if it's on Napster as an MP3, Dave?
Well, nobody knows who put that up. So,
see, Dan, I knew we shouldn't have gotten.
Let's call his wife and say, hey, we were looking for the new Fear Factory song, and we downloaded, I think this is your husband.
See, I don't know, man.
Well, maybe, you see, therein lies the problem. That you're using a recording of a telephone conversation that is probably less than legal. And then you're going to now use it to get this guy in deep shit trouble.
Now, what if we did it? But the thing is, what if we did it and we do it anonymously? We don't say it's the Dan and Scott show. In fact, we only call her long enough to say, hey, we talked to your husband, listen to this. And we play the tape, and then we hang up. And no one will know that it's us.
The entire world just is hearing what you're saying, and everybody knows that it's you guys.
Right, but nobody knows who this guy is.
What you could do.
It's Andy at the Piggly Wiggly.
Here's what you could do.
I mean, we're not going to say his last name. We don't even know.
You want to play the telephone call, and that's what you can't do. What you can do, it would seem to me, if you can find this woman, is saying, I heard, do you have any... and you can have a phone conversation with her.
That's not against the law.
That's not against the law.
All right.
Just as long as you don't slander or maliciously slander or malign this guy. That's against the law. But you can certainly have a phone conversation with this woman.
Do we have to tell her she's being recorded?
Well, she's not being recorded. She's going to be on the air, right?
This is why I love Dave Herman.
Very good.
She's not going to be recorded. She's just going to be on the air.
So you're taking the archive off?
No, that's not a recorded phone call. No.
Dan, just go with it. I think Dave's right.
Here's all you need to say. Here's what you need to do. Did you ever hear Stuttering John do things for Howard Stern? He goes, tape for broadcast. That's it. I'll go, hi, it's Stuttering John, tape for broadcast, WXRK New York. Do, and then he's on the record that it's being taped for broadcast. So all you need to do is when you call the lady, say, hi, this is the Dan and Scott radio program, and you got a minute, we'd like to talk to you, and you've identified yourselves and who you are, and you have the right to phone her. She has the right to say, no, I don't want to talk to you, and she can hang up on you.
Well,
but
Amy.
if you can keep her on the line, then, but I would tell her out front who you are, and that you're calling, and you say, I'm really curious about something. Because I understand. I'm not, I just heard you might say, oh, where did you hear such a thing? Well, see where it goes.
Well, we can say we called him.
The guy.
We can say we called him.
Yeah, you can say you called him.
He told us. What happens?
Yes, you can say that.
What happens if Scott plays it lightly in the background?
No.
Like he's some punk.
Like I'm just queuing up a tape in the background.
No phone call. No illegal phone calls being played. But you certainly have the right to call this woman and have a conversation with her and say what it is that you want. What you can't do.
Yeah, but I don't think if we call the woman,
tell any lies about this guy.
Right. Well, he admitted what he did.
Is there malice in your heart in doing this? Because you can't.
No.
You can't maliciously. So in other words, if this guy owed you $10,000 and never paid you, and then you do this, and then of course say the reason that the Dan and Scott show did this is he owed him $10,000, and Dan was pissed off at this guy, and they got him in.
That would be
I am mad. I am mad because this sucker is he's out there, he's cheating, he's making it look bad for men.
Like you give a shit. You just can't do it maliciously.
All right.
Oh.
And tell her that she's on
This is tricky, though, because...
It's tricky.
Okay, the way that Dave just explained, see, we don't want to call and just tell her... We don't want to call and say, hey, this is...
For all you know, she knows.
No.
See, if we're going to...
ask him that.
If we're going to call...
For all you know, the guy didn't mean it. For all you know, the guy just said it.
Yeah, but he admitted it a couple times.
Yeah, he was almost bragging about it.
A lawyer just emailed
what does a lawyer say?
You are allowed to record a conversation as long as you are a party in the call. All
Is that true?
No.
Hey, it's a lawyer, it
yeah,
says.
lawyer. Well,
Email from an IATA fan. Lawyer.
Name lawyer. Right. As long as you're part of the conversation. That's bullshit. That's not true.
Really?
You know you can't make a phone call. You know that, Danny.
We actually don't know that. No, we're just learning that.
That's why we did our show from Wisconsin for a long time.
No,
That's like the only state where it was legal to
No.
Well, having sex with goats is legal in Wisconsin.
All right.
No, wait. All right. Well, we'll think. Well, we got to talk about it. We'll talk
basically
about it, and then we'll do what. No, I'm just kidding. No, see, the problem is with Dave saying, "Don't play the tape, but just call." But say it's the Dan and Scott show. See, we don't want to say it's the Dan and Scott show because then when the guy gets all upset, you know, when the wife says, "Hey, these guys called," and then he'll say, "Well, who called and told you this?" She'll say, "Oh, well, the Dan and Scott show." Then he could.
Say it's Chauncey.
He could research that it was us doing
Chauncey.
a bit on the show, and you know what I mean.
Well, say we're Comedy World.
So if we did it, I'd rather just.
Wait a minute. When I was working on the morning show in Seattle, we did a similar sort of thing where we had a guy call up, right? And he supposedly won flowers, right?
All right.
And he told, you know, the show who to send the flowers to, and it was not his wife, but his girlfriend.
All right.
And then we called the the wife and played her the tape.
Really?
It was like this huge expose. Yeah, I don't know about the legality, but it was.
I think we basically
pretty dramatic radio.
We got the green light from Dave. Basically, here let's take
Not
some
really.
calls.
Well, he said we can't play the tape, and that's the best part of it. Because the woman might not believe it. She'll be like, "I don't know who you are, and you don't even know my last name, so why should I believe you?"
I just talked to your husband, Andy, at the Piggly.
And she'll say,
Piggly
"I don't
Wiggly.
believe it." Although you're right.
Talked to him.
Although it's probably enough to just put it in her head that,
That's
hey,
all we need to
he's
do.
got a girlfriend, trust me, and then you know she'll bring it up to him.
Right.
In fact, when you call her, the wife, should you also say that you're a minister, the same deal? Because then he'll know that it was, like she'll say, well, some minister called here and told me you have a girlfriend.
That good? I look in the chat room and I see Blue Frog. Do it! Fuck the law! Fuck it! Take some calls.
Oh, man.
Hello, you're on the air.
Hey, guys, it's Zest.
Hey, Zest.
Hey.
Actually, you know, it's amazing. I'm not even American, and I know more about this than you guys.
All right, well, what's the deal?
Here's the deal.
Is it legal in Canada?
I messaged you with a website that has all the details on whether or not you can tape. That's all it's called. Can we tape? Basically, was it an interstate call or a local state call?
It was interstate.
Okay, then the FCC rules apply. Otherwise, it's the laws of that particular state where you place the call.
Really?
Okay, and the details are on that website. I think it's... I looked at the New York laws, and the New York ones allow you to basically tape as long as you're one of the two parties in the conversation.
Beautiful.
Is that true?
Yeah, so you guys call anybody within New York, you can tape no problem.
Oh, anyone within New York.
Then it's the FCC rules.
All right.
Ah, I see.
And FCC, they've been looking for a way to try to fuck with us.
There you go.
This is how.
Look, I mean, there is a few pages in there, but it should help you out.
Were you a lawyer?
No.
All right, so another lawyer. All right, thank you.
Okay.
Goodbye.
See, we don't want to know all this, do we?
We might be on a need-to-know basis. Hello?
Hi, I'm not a lawyer, but I've got an idea.
All right.
Dude, to say you're a private investigator and you've been following this guy around and you've got, like, video and pictures of him, going into, like, different women's houses. Or maybe not different women, but, just the one he said he was cheating on. Because then you can get around the phone call. But,
so it's best to get around the law by lying.
No, look. But then you can like call him on it, and he'll be like, "Look, unless you admit this now, because we are taping the phone call, we're going to tell your wife."
Nice. I actually like that idea.
Yeah, because then at least you'll get it since he knows you're calling. If you say that, then you can go ahead and play the phone call because he knows it's being taped.
Nicely done.
All right.
Hello, you're on the air.
Hey. I say all you have to do is just call the wife and say, "Hey there, I was down to Piggly Wiggly there once, and in the meat department, and I heard this guy talking about cheating on his wife, and
Yeah, his name was Andy there.
His name was Andy there, and I tracked you down.
Hey there.
Figured I'd tell you because he was just an asswipe.
I run a business with Tom Bone. We got a nice business going on down there. It's none of your business what we do, but we do it, and we do a good job. I got people to do the bookwork for me. All right, good idea.
There you go.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
You're talking to a man. You're not talking to a cunt, okay?
It's the Freakout Freak Show!
Freaky time is over, people.
Oh, no! Damn slime idiots! You just want to have your power of being a colonel in the freak army.
Changing lives, baby, one freak at a time.
Hey, we're all freaks, and proud of it.
A freak army.
Justin McCall! Isaac Cock! You're